Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of them candid conversations. We are in here, blessed and highly favored. Today is a special one. Today we're going to talk about football, right? Um, Women football in precise, because this is a special edition. We're dedicating it to Next Star Under 13 Football Fun Day, the first girls edition. Okay, so a big shout out to all my sponsors, a big shout out to all my well wishers. OWF, Olympia Fuller Foundation, for the things you're doing in the society, both here in the UK and back in Kenya, Nairobi. A big shout out to Trigger Accountants to keep the lights on. A big shout out to Bush and Wine Adventures for any tours and whatever, the right people to talk to. And a big shout out to Care Graphics. That man them does magic, okay? Because we're talking football today, a very special guest with us today. I'm going to be joined by the chairman of BILLERICAY Town Football Club, Mr. Greg White. Okay? Right. We're getting into it now, yeah? You listening to that? Yeah, so without further ado, in a few minutes, that's the vibe, that's the vibe right about now. Yeah. Candid Convo, you know what to do. Click subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend. Next yeah, next is going to be the first girls edition is going to be in Uruma Flats, Nairobi, Kenya, and it's going to be on April the 20th. A big shout out to Joanne Locks, Eugene Maspai, Sepe, and all the team on the ground coming in. A big shout out to David Clark and all the Footballer Life. Yo, download the app, yeah, Footballer Life, the app, and you know how we get down. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like we said, welcome to another one of them candid conversations. We're honored, privileged, and feeling like we're really blessed to be here, feeling like we are God's favorite son, the way these favors are overflowing. I gotta tell you that, yeah? You know what we do in candid conversation? Yeah, we crisscross across the globe, touch up with all individuals who have a positive creation to the society. And you know my passion is football, right? So today I back up on a nice one. We say, right. A big shout out to all our sponsors, OWF, Olympia Fuller Foundations, for the things you're doing in the society all across from the UK to Africa. A big shout out to Bush and Wine Adventures. A big shout out to Trigger Accountants. A big shout out to Sanaye, to Mtaani, the man like Chimano. We're working on something to empower the girls back there in Nairobi. And now this is where we are, the Next Star tournament. Now, for the first time, we're going to have the Next Star Girls Edition, Under 13 Girls Edition. This is going to be in Uruma in Nairobi, Uruma Flats in Nairobi, and it's going to be on the 20th of April. Guys, it's the first Girls Edition. We're all trying to, put a good foot forward. And yes, today we're back up on somebody who's as passionate as we are in football, and we're going to get to know more about him. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairperson of BILLERICAY Football Club, Mr. Greg Lake. Welcome to the program, Mr. Lake. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, thank you, Jeffrey. I'm excited to talk football. Love football, as you said.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, total passion for me,
All right, here we are, right? Just a quick background, right? You're the chairperson of BILLERICAY Football Club, yeah?
Yeah, for the women and girls section.
For the women and girls section, BILLERICAY is in the Isthmian League, yeah. Isthmian League. That's
So there's something like 70 teams within BILLERICAY's club.
Okay.
So the men's first team are in the Isthmian League Premier.
Okay.
The women's first team are actually a step higher. So the women,
right.
yeah. So the women's first team play at tier 3. So Southern Premier League. So you have the Women's Super League, which has got Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal. You've got the Championship with teams like Crystal Palace and Charlton, and then you've got us. So we're playing against teams like Ipswich, Oxford, Portsmouth. So good standard of football for the women.
Wow, the women are up there. The men will catch up. The men will catch
The
up.
men will catch up. Yeah,
We
yeah.
get it. But I was just following, like, you were not really doing bad, the men's team, right? Like you're on
No.
top four position or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So hoping to get to that second spot to go up automatically, but if
Uh,
not, playoffs, which should be
oh
great.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna be following you, and anytime I'm around Essex, because I got family over there. Anytime I'm
I know.
around there, I'll definitely pop up and catch a match or something. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be.
well, it would be good to see you. We'll
Uh,
we'll make sure you have a good time. Get to see
uh,
some good football.
Definitely, definitely. Now, Mr. Craig, right? Talk to me. I know you're passionate about football, right? But talk to me. How was it? How did this happen? Like when you were growing up and all that, did you play? Were you involved in it?
Yeah,
Mm,
I've always played football. So
mm.
my father played for Southampton. He was a professional.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Around the kind of Second World War years, so a long time ago.
All right.
But from the moment I could kind of kick a ball or walk, I was playing
Mm,
with my father.
mm,
Got into children's teams. I was
mm,
so I've always played and played up to what
mm.
we call it semi-professional. So I was being
All
paid
right.
to play.
Okay.
Not good enough to make.
Not the top
Not good
tier
enough.
wages. Yeah.
No, no, no. I wish. But no, but from there I kind of went into managing football teams when I gave up playing,
All
and
right.
found a real buzz in that.
Okay.
And then more probably the last 7 8 years,
Mm.
got the chance to become an owner at
All
Billericay,
right. Okay.
um, and got involved in sponsoring the women's team, and then I've become the
Oh.
chairman of the women's and girls teams. But
Mm.
it's such a privilege now. If
Mm.
just for the women and girls, we've got 20 teams, and
Oh.
that starts at 7 and 8 year olds.
All right.
7 and 8 year old girls playing football.
That's the
Um,
thing.
yeah, and playing against boys at that age.
Mm.
So it's mixed when they first start against boys, mixed
Mm.
teams of girls and boys, and then it goes to actually being girls teams playing against girls teams. But we've
Mm.
got people. We play walking football as well.
All right.
Are you familiar with that, Jeffrey?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. What about walking football for the older guys?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
we've got women, well, men and women
All
from kind of
right.
60 up to 80, playing football at the club as well. And
Oh,
I can go to the football club and watch all those age ranges, all
wow.
training, all playing
Wow.
football. It's a
Yeah.
total joy. It really is.
That's a beautiful thing. See, I'm also like, when I was growing up, I grew up back in Africa in Kenya, right?
Yeah,
We was like, it was simple. Like when you're not going to school, you're outside kicking football the whole day,
yeah,
the whole day. You know what I mean? At that time, there wasn't academies or anything, but the whole
yeah,
day. So what we do is kind of like imitate the players. You know what I mean? The whole day we'll be doing that. Not until when we grew up and went to secondary school. Then now that's when we start playing for the secondary school team and all that.
yeah, yeah.
And that's from there that worked like as our youth thing, yeah. But saying that, like football for the kids or for the younger generation at this stage, like what we're trying to do with the next star, how do you think it's important for especially girls at that age to engage in sports, and you particularly know about football?
Yeah, I think it is important. I mean, a bit like you. I
Mm.
was out as a child until it was too dark to play. Until it was playing with a tennis ball, playing with anything.
Anything, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Anything. And I
yeah.
think being able to offer that to
Mm,
boys and girls from a
mm,
very early age, but also to give them a little bit of involvement with other players. I think
mm.
that's a bit of a team ethic.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just so
yeah.
important because
Mm,
I don't know what it's like there, but certainly over here
mm.
we've got some children who get the chance to play because their parents can afford
But
to give
yeah.
them the footballs to get them into the right teams. But we've
Mm,
also got some who haven't got that.
mm,
So for our young teams,
mm.
the parents pay subscriptions to be able to
Okay.
get them into the team. What we do now is we make sure that actually there are places where you haven't got to do that. You know, there are places in that same team, and so I think you know that where you haven't got where the parents haven't got to pay,
where you subsidize basically.
Yeah.
Right,
And I think
right.
so. I think that's important. Getting to Next Star. I mean, what I know about that so far, I think what a tremendous thing. You know, an opportunity to give to young girls to get into the sport. It can be a career now. You know, women's football has changed so much.
So much, yeah.
You know, so actually, there is now, particularly in England and a lot of countries where they've been playing for longer, you can get a career as a footballer. You can get a career, you know, either as a coach or a physio,
or physio, all those things. A dietitian, or all those type of things. Greg, I'm happy my background threw you away, made you think I'm in Africa. No, I'm in Hastings. No, I'm in Hastings.
Oh, wow.
You're playing them next on Saturday.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's only because I'll be out of town because I'm a DJ also. So
okay.
I could have made that. But I'm happy my background threw you off because that's basically
it did. So Hastings. It didn't look like Hastings there. I can tell you.
Yeah.
But tell me a bit more about Next Gen. Sorry, Next Star. Next Star.
So basically, it's a collective of like I told you, when we was growing up, there wasn't institutions like that, right? So we were like, when we was around 12 or 13, we were the lucky ones. Like by that time, there was a youth foundation called Maisa had started, right? So they kind of collected the teams together, right? Just like what we're trying to do, but then it was more regional, like it was archaic. Like we were starting, so it was next to a market where we'd clear off and put post and all that, but they had a league system. And after that, a couple of stars were born, right? They transferred, they played even for the national team, and some of them went semi-pro. So they are now retired, right? So they are now retired. And some of them, like one is in, like Titus Mlama is in Switzerland, one is in the States. So what they do, this was the initiative, and a couple of other retired ones in Kenya. They came together, and being that we were basically from impoverished place, right, where there isn't a lot of light, and that's where most of us came from. They started just meeting and sharing minds together, and then this was formed. But it was formed basically because of the boys. The boys were all like getting into everything. You know how boys are around that age.
I know.
Yeah, they were getting into all kind of mischievousness, but they still had respect for these retired players, right? So that's how they just brought them in slowly, and then we started. And for the boys, we've done like 4. For the boys, for the August one is going to be the 5th edition. But now this is the first one we are doing for the girls, and we've seen a lot of improvement. Like some of those kids we started with under 14 for boys, now a couple are playing in local teams there, right? Because they're now 19, they are youth in local teams there. It's been a gradual process, because we're just learning as we go, right? And we're all in different, you know what I mean? So we communicate through like this, and then we try to raise awareness. So that I come mostly being a musician and a DJ and a YouTuber. I fall in the raising awareness type of situation, right?
Sure.
So Titus and his brother also used to play for the national team, and we got a couple of helpers from David Clark from an app Footballers Life in America. So now we're getting to the first one now, where it's the guys edition. We've gotten a lady who also used to play. Her name is Joanne. She's heading the ladies one, and we're getting support from everybody. Like and it's a beautiful thing. The way, like I'm telling you, the passion. It's a beautiful thing where now some people don't know me as a DJ. They know me for that. Because a lot of kids, they've heard what we're doing. They know me for that one. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. I'll
Well,
take it. Yeah.
why not? I mean, hey, it's a
Yeah.
great thing that you're doing, but you can get the music in there as well. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we must talk music. I love music as well. But let's get back to the football. You
Yeah.
know that. So this is the first. You said, because I heard you saying earlier on, it's under 13s in Nairobi. Is that the
Yeah.
one that
Yeah.
you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. This one
So
for the
that's going to
honor.
be for, yeah,
For
and that's for
girls.
the girls, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I guess that this is girls that are local to Nairobi.
Yeah. We got six. We were expecting up to until 16 teams from the
Yeah,
inner estates in Nairobi. You know, I mean the inner estates. We've
yeah,
already
yeah.
dealt with their boys team, so we know the coaches and there's all that. They've all registered. It's just a couple of things to go by. And I really appreciate the way you accepted for the Billericay guys to do a video to support them, because we want sometimes seeing is believing. You understand?
Sure.
Seeing is
Yeah.
believing, and also it's one of those things that it's there, but until somebody points you to that direction, saying like when you see somebody who's far away who's saying, "Hey, I know what you're doing over there. Just keep working hard." That speaks volumes if it's somebody who's doing the same thing you want to do. You understand?
Of
So,
course, and in fact, that video is being made this evening.
oh,
So
thank you very
so
much.
yeah, it's the first team training tonight, and
All right.
before training, they're
Mm.
going to make that little video and show their support. So that
Oh,
hopefully will help.
yeah. Oh,
But
lots,
you know,
lots.
we're keen to get involved, and if there are teams that we can get involved with over there, that would
Mm-hmm.
be good too. Because one of the things that we're keen to do
Mm.
is to reach out to and kind of almost have sister clubs,
All right.
um,
Yeah, definitely.
and if that were possible through Next Start, that would be superb. But anything that we can do to help, because it's such an important thing for us. I think
Mm.
our players, one of the
Mm.
things that they're being paid, so
Right.
but they're still generally playing for the love of the game. Um,
Ah,
and
yeah.
and I think it's important for them, even within our club,
Mm.
the first team players get very involved with the youngsters.
Mm.
They do their presentations, and
Mm.
they have them as mascots, and then they have them and help with training,
Mm.
and I think, as you say, when you see somebody who's actually playing a good level of football,
Mm.
and saying, hey, you can do this, we can, you can get there as well. I think that's
Yeah.
a very powerful message, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. Believe me, it works, and it's one of the things that if it, like you said, even with the music side, we're trying to incorporate even young artists, female artists, or we're trying to incorporate them, right? So
Yeah,
the good thing over there is at the beginning, once we start the campaign, everybody kind of gets involved. The whole community gets involved, right? Because it's basically word of mouth from the guardians or the parents of the girls when they're coming back from the practice. They're saying, "Oh, this is what we're looking forward to," right? So that's said
yeah,
to the next neighbor, then the next neighbor, then now when they by the market they're talking about it. Oh, when is it going? So there's a nice the beauty of it. There is a nice genuine euphoria, beautiful positive
yeah,
euphoria that engulfs it towards the day, right? So that's why we were like, okay, me being the entertainment side, we figured like we're also taking a few. Every team can suggest somebody who can do something towards something on
yeah.
the art side. So yeah, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful
It's
thing.
good. It's going
Yeah.
to be a good tournament.
Oh,
How do we get more involved? Do you think, in the future? Maybe it's too late for this one, but
no, no,
what
no.
can we do?
Right, that's the question, right? At this particular time, that just the video will be okay, or maybe just follow up on social media will be okay for now, right? Because being that
Yeah,
this is our first one, right? We are dealing with girls and all that. We want to learn from it. We want to learn
yeah,
from this one because we know what we improved from the last one. The last one we improved on the side of the media, basically, like the entertainment during the thing, right? Because it's a full day. We have the kids in the morning and we provide them with food and everything all the way until the evening where they get their presents, whoever won and all that, and then they go. So it's a full day. We have to find entertainment and something to keep the teams who are there and
yes, of course.
entertained and that type of thing, right? But saying about like getting involved, we really appreciate just what you're doing right now, because that's a light, and we appreciate your enthusiasm, right? Because that's where you feel like, okay, we're on the same frequency. There's somebody else who's seeing what we're doing and wants to help. And just that spirit being passed all the way down to the kids who are participating. I think that's the first block, right? Now we're here. What can we do? Because we listen to them. What we will have missed for this one and not what, then we improve on that one. But rest assured, we will involve you in any form, style, or fashion that's applicable to what you are doing. We will.
Yeah, and we'll welcome that. I mean, we'll stay in touch after this anyway. And
definitely.
You know, I mean, Anne, your auntie, will make sure that happens. So what a lady she is. But you know, we're getting to the end of our season now, so we've got something like 8 games left for the women's first team. Which includes 2 cup finals. So 6 league games, 2 cup finals to go. And so that takes us.
When is this cup finals?
The cup finals are in April. So I'll send you details, but
you may
be able to make it.
Yeah, you can see gears in my head working. Yeah, right. Yeah. You send me the details for that. We'll see. I really would like to do that. We definitely will.
Yeah, and apart from that, you know, we want to push on in the league as well. We've kind of we got to this level 2 seasons ago, and it's a bit of a shock because it's reached the women's first team have reached the level now where a lot of the other teams are full time. So they're full time professionals, training every day, you know, and we're semi professional, training twice a week. And it's taken us this is the second season at this level to really consolidate and get used to the different level of professionalism, you know, and we're having to teach people about nutrition, for example. You know, it's not just about fitness; it's about you know what have you had for breakfast? What have you had for lunch before the game starts?
Before the game starts, Are you sleeping? And that's the thing is now, like basically you're punching above your weight with the women, right?
Yeah.
And now the margin for error is very small. It's very small.
Yes.
Right. It's very small because everything like you can imagine a professional club, right? Everything they have the data for all this. They know where this is going wrong and how to improve that and all that type of thing. And you're just coming in. So it's kind of, But it's nice.
It's nice, but you know everything gets analysed.
Yeah, very challenging though. Very challenging.
Yeah. So every team watches the footage of your players, is looking for strengths and weaknesses. We're doing the same thing to them. You know, this is a new world for us, to be honest. But it is very interesting. And you know we're looking to bring in younger players to get into that straight away. We've got an academy running. We need to get some of your next stars over into our academy and get them training there, you know, and bring them into the first team. That would be fantastic.
That would be our dream. And I was talking to Tito yesterday, and we were saying, you know, some of these things you have to speak them into existence, like you just said. That would be our dream. That will definitely be our dream, and we'll keep working on it, keeping it slow by slow. We're not in a rush, keeping it slow by slow, but we know it's possible, right? We know it's possible. Like with people like you, and a big shout out to David Clark, also the founder of Footballers Life app. They came in really handy and really strongly, and they're just opening it. It's kind of like the dots are connecting now, right? So one of the things the dots are connecting, and we want it to move very, very fluid, right? Let's get deeper into football, right? Like you said, things have changed since when you was playing, since now to become a manager, now a chairman. There's been a lot of change, right? There's been a lot of change, right? And to be honest, I was checking the thing the other day, the Sky's News the other day, where even Europa League, Champions League, they're trying to change the format. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like where we are moving, they're also trying to change the format, which I don't know. It's just like now we got 5 subs. You've seen a lot of changes in football, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. when I
Yeah.
when I started playing, there was one sub, and normally it was the same person every time. They they were kind of used to being sub and didn't really want to play. But now, we have five subs, as you say, for the men's and the women's, and it's almost like you're bringing on half a new team.
Half a team. Yeah.
And it's very tactical about what players you're bringing in. So our managers are looking at which players. There's a squad of 22 people. Again, that's very different from when I was a boy and playing then. Because but 22 players in a squad, and then you're selecting 16 for a particular game. And your starting 11 may not be your best players, because you actually want to tire the other team out and then bring on your faster players, your players that are going to, and it is it's almost like a game of chess. But some of the other things that have come in, I mean, VAR, I don't know what your view on that is.
No, man, thank you. That was my next goal. VAR. What are the laws, man? What are you checking for? Because I know, I don't want to go on, because I know we kind of we're preaching to the choir. It's right? You sit down, you watch the match analysis, okay, the games you haven't caught, and you watch this has been given, right? This weekend it's been given, right? But that's on this league, right? Then you come to check on the other league that same weekend. No, it's not being given, right? And the thing is, if you're a football buff like me, where you just want to watch match like if you're free, right? I haven't left my couch. I'm still sitting here. It's kind of like the rules of football have changed right in front of me. Because that one game is given.
I don't like it.
You don't understand, man. It's just
why mess with it? It was a good format,
Yeah.
And it was fun. And actually, if there was an offside decision that wasn't given and the team got a goal, it kind of evens itself out. It's over a season, and it was something to talk about. It was part of the reason we loved the game. There were controversial moments that we could all get excited about and frustrated about
later on.
Yeah. Now we're getting frustrated about camera angles and lines drawn on the pitch.
Waiting, and now you can imagine the waiting on the pitch, though. The waiting on the pitch, And another thing, here you go. You opened me up for this. Another thing I don't like, right? If it's an offside thingy, why you let them go and score and then come back and say it was offside? What are you doing, man? You're giving us.
I know, and it can be a fingernail that's offside. It's that kind of it's crazy. But there are some rules which they've talked about bringing into the professional game, which we're already trialing. So our women's team, for example, have the sin bin. So we have an orange card. I think they said it's going to be blue in the professional game if it gets brought in, but they have an orange card where you can be sent off for 10 minutes. And then brought back on again. And that's happened to our goalkeeper, which is a bit of a shock.
All right.
So you're in an important game. Your goalkeeper gets sin bin for 10 minutes. You may have one on the bench, but you're going to have to bring that player on, take another one off. It's kind of crazy.
Wow. Well, hey, good. I don't want to sound like one of them, but I like the good old football, right? Yes, we had we had some bad times, like the hand of gold, right? We had those times, but you see, that's why we talk about it. That kind of adds to the whole makeup of you know what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm with you. And the other, I don't like artificial pitches. We've got an artificial pitch. In fact, we've got two of them, because then you can play in all weathers.
All weathers,
Because now, if there's a little bit of water on a grass pitch, it gets cancelled. But I remember playing when I was a player, and professional players used to play in mud and snow and no matter what the conditions, and it was such a good game.
We used to see those pictures of George Best trying to make a move, and you couldn't see the boot, you could see just the top of the Umbro thing, because you were deep in mud. He was deep in mud when turning. Those are the. But hey, let's hope though. Like there's some good that will come out of it. So I'm hoping. But so far with the VAR, I've never met one lover of football who's saying yeah, VAR is good for. I've never. And I'm just wondering if we are the guys who are not sitting at the table and they're making these decisions and we are all singing the same tunes, surely they hear about the same thing, don't they?
You would hope so, wouldn't you? There is so much of a backlash, particularly against VAR.
Yeah.
And the definition of what's offside. I think eventually they will have to change it. But some things are good. I moan about artificial pitches, but it means in places like England, actually games do get played. And it also means for a club like ours that those pitches can be used 7 days a week. When we've got floodlights, so we don't use them 24 hours a day. But you can get so many of your teams, 70 teams, training during the week, playing on our pitches, and that's useful. So maybe there's place for that, but I don't think we'll ever see artificial pitches in the Premier League. It did happen quite a while ago. I don't know if you remember those days.
I didn't catch that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happened? Why did they take them off?
Well, because those pitches, so I think it was Luton and Queen's Park Rangers were the first people to be allowed in the professional game to be allowed artificial pitches. But every time the ball bounced, it bounced about 10 feet in the air. It was like playing on concrete. So the ball just bounced around all over the place. So they stopped it and said you've got to take those up. Now the artificial pitches, you could play your Champions League on them in terms of the bounce quality, is so true, the quality. Yeah.
So one question. So what team were you supporting before you became you got deep in managing Billericay?
So I'm a Derby County supporter. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Derby, Derby, the one that the Manchester retirees bought together and put shares and bought to Derby. Is that the same Derby County?
No. It's so Derby are an old side. So we were Premier Division. We won the first division back in the day. We played at a ground that was just mud. It was just there was no grass on that pitch, and that's when I fell in love with them. So it was. Manager was Brian Clough for a while, who's a famous England manager.
Yeah, the famous Brian Clough. Yeah. Eccentric.
Very eccentric, and that was the period when I was a boy, and so I fell in love with them, and it's where I'm from as well. So you kind of have to stay with your hometown team, don't you?
Oh yeah. I hear that. I hear you. Yeah. I'm a Gunners. I'm a Gunners.
Are you?
Yeah, since back home because. My dad was in the army, and the Gunners logo has a cannon in it.
Yeah, that's right. And they're doing very well at the moment.
Well, yeah, we don't want to speak too quick because now this is when also Man City turns up their gears, right?
Yeah.
We just want to one game at a time, but we have our eye on it, but we don't want to tell everybody. We just
you've got a very very good side this season.
Yeah.
The trouble is that this is when Man City turn up, and they could put together a run now where they don't lose a game until the end of the season.
To the end of the season.
Liverpool, Mr. Klopp, his last season. There's a lot of emotion around that. They've got a good crop of youngsters as well.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I like it. I don't care who I'm supporting. I like it when I see a youngster being served and he's coming out. I like it like they were doing like what Klopp has done. You can just say, this is history. Like you can say, I'm witnessing history. You understand? If you understand football, you can just look and say, hold on a minute, I think I'm witnessing history here. You know what I mean?
There's that saying that when they're good enough, they're old enough. You play a player based on their talent rather than their age, don't you?
Yeah.
And Liverpool have got some players coming through that are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
A nice crop of them, and you can tell they already have the team. They've been playing together. They've gone through some hard battles together. So when they're stepping in there, they're just like, they're at home also. Wow, you can see.
Some talent there. I mean, but going back to Billericay women, we've played. I think we've had 5 players playing in first team matches that are under 18.
Wow.
So and they're good enough. Physically, they may not be strong enough yet, but the only way they're going to learn is to play in that first team. And so I'm excited to see what happens at Liverpool. Excited to see whether Arsenal can actually win the league. You may not want to say it, but I can say it.
Yeah.
My daughter's getting married later this year, and she's marrying another Gooner fan. So I get to hear an awful lot about Arsenal.
Yeah, we're there. We don't want to do what we did last year. Last season we were there, and then when Man City pressed the pedal, we kind of wobbled a little bit, and we couldn't catch up with that.
Yeah, but I think you've got a great manager. I like Arteta.
Yeah. And the team has been trying to build, and also the mixture of youth and talent, and the team is now they look like they're working for each other now.
Yeah.
They're working
and great football. They're a good side to watch.
Yeah, entertaining football. Football. Mr. Greg, I'm so happy we had this conversation. What can you say to anybody about Billericay Club, and what's the target? Where are you going with? You've told us about the female team, the women team.
Yeah.
What about the men team? I know you're in my ends this weekend, but I won't be here. I wish I was.
Well, it's a shame because we're going to win that game against Hastings. For the men, the ambition is to get it may be automatic, but certainly into the playoffs this season. That would take us back into the National League, which is where we want to be. And we've got an ambitious management team and bunch of directors at Billericay. I don't think with our fan base, with the numbers that we can bring in, we're ever going to make the Premier League. But you can dream, can't you? But we may, that tier 3, tier 4 for both the men and the women would be really good for us. And we want to bring youngsters through. We want to bring in local talent, but we want to excite the fans as well. We get good fan base at both the men and women, we want to play good football. So if there's an ambition, it's about playing good football. But one of my fellow directors says it's about smiles on faces.
Yeah.
And if you want to leave on a message, that's it. Whether you're a player, whether you're involved in running the club, whether you're a fan, what you want is to enjoy it. You want to have a smile on your face as you're doing it.
Yeah, and put smile on your fans' faces also, right?
Yeah,
create moments where they can talk about and look forward to for the weekend or that type of thing.
Yeah. Smiles and memories. That's what it is.
Thank you very much, sir. And we'll definitely stay in touch. And we want to see Billericay up there. And you know what I want Billericay to do? To do one of them like kill one of them giants during the FA Cup. That'd be a nice tale. Yeah.
that would be good. We'll try that for you.
Yeah.
Well, good to meet you, sir.
Me here too, sir, and we'll stay in touch. All the best, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and to you. Take care.
Bye. Thank you. Okay.